for lighting and light impacts, but some of them I hope you find it as interesting as I did as we go along. So living here on Dewees, this is something that we hear about every summer from the turtle team. Reminders to that the turtle nesting season is coming up and to watch out for our lights. Many of you have heard the story of the hatchling turtles that come out and they look for the reflection of the moon and the stars off the ocean to guide them to safety. But what can happen and develop, it doesn't even have to be like a huge, parking lot or skating pool lights. It can be one kind of misplaced, ill-timed light that kind of is brighter than the ocean and lures them in the wrong direction, and they can succumb to predators, environmental exhaustion, and or just kind of get, if there's a road in the way, they get run over. And it can be, it's very heartbreaking to, have a nest of 100 threatened sea turtles, and they get disoriented and are impacted by cars and roadways and kind of find them, dead in the dunes. A lot of our other nocturnal animals, you don't really come across, 120 dead bats in one area from impact from lights and those sorts of things. So it's really kind of up in the forefront. And heavily developed areas, some of the information came out of Florida, they have seen an impact of a high number of false crawls from nesting females. When they come up to beaches that are heavily lit, they just kind of turn around and then they find much more higher number of nest success in darker areas of the beach. So even the females are impacted by overuse of lighting. Some of the examples, bats, they can, sometimes depending on the species, they may not come out of their roosts at night if it's brightly lit. They're kind of holding up and they won't go out in the feed. Some bats, you've all heard the same, like how a moth to the flame, how moths will just fly around a street light. Well, that's really great for some bats because they can come in and find all the moths that they want to eat, but then when they're so focused on getting their food, they're not mindful of the predators who have become very exciting that the bats are there eating the moths, so they can be picked off there pretty quickly because they're all concentrated in an area they otherwise wouldn't be in. Humans fall into the mammal category as well, the importance of the circadian rhythm, kind of the night to dark, extending the day of the daytime animals and shortening the nocturnal. So if you are a nocturnal species and you have artificial light making you think that it's daylight longer, you're not going to have as many hours to do what you need to do to survive in your environment. So, does anyone recognize this guy? Bobcat and mink. Nice. Minks have been pretty active on the island over the last week, down at like Cow Dock on the front beach, and then kind of between the landings building and the chapel pond. So, if you see something that you're like, oh, it's swimming, I'm not quite sure what it is. If it's about 2 feet long, it's probably a mink. If it's 4 feet long, it's going to be a river otter. So they look kind of similar, swimming at a quick glance in the water, but there is a very distinct size difference.
Lori, do you think that the bobcats are here 100% of the time, or they come and go?
We've gotten trail camera images, and then I know that there are some security cameras that are picking up bobcats, and we've been collecting the data, but I have yet to kind of sit down and look through this, see if there's a image from each month out of the year, but it sounds like a great intern project.
The mink of which you spoke, is it M-I-N-K as in coat?
Was it last year or the year before? It's blending together, but down at the ferry dock by one of the pilings, someone found a tiny mink baby that they were holding up there. So they are around that end of the island, but we also do have river otters that